a little bit as we speak. Well, let's get in Jai Bala of cashthechaos.com, who joins us on the show. Hi, Jai. Good afternoon and good to see you win. What's the view on the index? You keep throwing anything negative to it, but it's just punching back and moving higher. Where are we headed on the Nifty, and what about the Nifty Bank?
Yeah, good to be here, Nigel. We are getting into the end game of the medium to long-term move here, Nigel. The markets are bullish, like I pointed out last time. It's challenging the all-time highs, but be ready for stomach-churning volatility going forward in the short term and in the next 12 to 18 months also. The markets are going to transpire in some fashion that's like 5% above from here, and 18 to 30% drop in the medium term, and then come back to fresh all-time highs. So that's the kind of trajectory I have in the short term and the medium term. Even in the very short term, I won't be surprised if the markets were to drop to something like 23,820 and then come back to fresh record highs about 25,600. But the very short term, doesn't have to do it, but the markets are still bullish. The broad point and the broad takeaway from that is that learn to bank your profits. If you don't do that, they'll disappear quickly.
Okay, stay on, Jai. We've got more questions for you, but for now, we need to slip into a very short break with the news that...
With Jai Bala. Jai, before we continue talking about the equity calls, what about crude? That's moved up again to around $81 per barrel, and that's the fear, right, with that geopolitical tension in the offing. What's your take?
Yeah, the Brent is setting up for its medium-term drop towards 55 and probably below 55. But in the very short term, we could see a further bump up close to 82.5. Maybe yesterday's high was the counter trend bounce peak, maybe there's one more high coming to about 82.5. But as soon as the 76 important support on Brent is taken out, it confirms the medium-term opinion that I've been having that it's dropping towards 55. But so expect slight bump up in the very near term. But it's set up very well for a sharp decline towards 55.
Any interesting stocks which catch your attention, Jai?
Yeah, I've gone this time outside the mainline indices, and there are two stocks from the mid and small cap space. One is Autoline Industries. This is breaking out of a inverse head and shoulders pattern on the monthly time scale. So placing a stop at about 120 and a price trajectory close to 240 is possible. And the other stock is, again, Khaitan Chemicals and Fertilizers. This is consolidating after a sharp decline for the last 1 year. And it's breaking out of a pattern, what looks like a cup and handle pattern. And if it is getting back to where it's heading, I think it's heading for something like 160. With a stop loss at about 78, 72 will make a lot of sense. But these two are quite thinly traded, so position size yourself accordingly.
Jai, just quickly, NASDAQ, next levels you're watching?
Yeah, I'm watching the all-time highs at about 20,100 and change. But what is significant is that the semiconductors within the techs have started to underperform, while the blue chips have come up to record highs. So watch out for it. We have NVIDIA results coming up day after tomorrow. So you might want to be a bit cautious on frontline techs, but I think higher highs are due, but it's all with a bit of caution.
Okay, all right. Jai, appreciate you stopping by and giving us your view on the indices, commodities, as well as on a couple of stocks as well. Wishing you a good evening ahead. Well, before